Hello, fellow amateur astronomers on YouTube. I just want to give a quick review and kind of my first impressions on my new SkyWatcher EvoStar 80ED. So I ordered this online from OPT before Christmas, I think the week before Christmas. And of course, with the pandemic, you know, everything is slow, back ordered, not available, not in stock, all of that. And so there, you know, their website said like 30 to 45 days. So I was actually looking at the Astrotech on Astronomics, their line of refractors. And I was looking at I believe I was looking at the 120. It's f7.5, I believe. And come to find out they were not going to get any in until February. Well, I didn't want to wait, you know, 2 or 3 months and have my money sit out there and not have anything. So OPT had, 30 to 45 days. I said, okay, well, that's just a month. So I ordered it, I think the week before Christmas, and it like shipped the following week. So I actually got it the Wednesday before Christmas. So on the 23rd, it actually came in. So, so it always pays, I did with OPT, I did with Astronomics, but email the manufacturer, the reseller, and find out exactly when they're gonna ship or how long your wait is. But this is what I got. So I did a lot of research, about 2 months of researching. I put together even a spreadsheet of the make, the model, the focal length, the objective, the diameter, the costs, everything that I have, and that helps putting, if you're looking at different models of telescope, to actually put them down to paper in kind of a spreadsheet format. And then that helps you kind of focus in on what you really want, but more probably importantly is what you don't want, you know, once you look at it and compare it, if you have all the specs kind of down. So so that's kind of what I did. And like I said, it took me about a month and a half, 2 months to just decide on this particular one. So, but this is the one that I got. You can see my 8-inch Dob there. It's also a SkyWatcher. It's just a classic. That's the first one I bought in 2016 for, at that time it was $355. And then also in this tub here, down here is my second scope, which is the Celestron Nexstar 6SE. So my SCT, that was my second one that I did, purchased. And I think I purchased that one also in 2016, toward the end of the year, and used that one for, like 3 years, star parties, public outreach, all of that with that. That's a good scope, good quality. Went to many star parties with that scope: Texas Star Party, El Dorado, Deep South Stargaze, and I went to Soki Text, which was the one in 2018 where it rained and it was cold and foggy and miserable with that. But this is the one that I just got. Wanted to add a refractor. So this is the one that I chose. So this is the EvoStar 80ED. So it is a doublet. It's not a triplet, but it does have the FPL 53 glass. And the other piece is that KLM, another type. They do have the specs on the website. So that's the FPL 53 was the key for me. That was the other thing that I was looking at, if it was a doublet or if it had what type of glass that it had to reduce greatly the chromatic aberration. So kind of getting that color fringe when you look at bright objects like stars or the moon or anything along those lines. So it had that. That was another plus. That's why I chose that. Also chose because this at OPT was, I believe, $320, and I think I got a little discount, so it's actually, I'm sorry, $820. And I think I got it for $805. And you've got, the other thing you got to do is when you're looking at these refractors, you have to see what comes with the refractor. So, you know, some of them don't come with rings, they don't come with a rail, they don't come with a diagonal or a finder scope, and those are all things that you're going to have to purchase in addition to the cost of the refractors. So there was that Orion, has that little 80ED refractor, and it's just the OTA, and it's like around $500, and it's a good deal. And actually one of my members of my astronomy club has that one, and it looks fantastic. It takes great shots, but you know, you're going to have to add probably $300 more, you know, in getting rings and getting a rail for a mount and a rail on the top. If you're going to put a guide scope, you can do visual, you'll need to buy a diagonal if you don't already have one, and a finder scope if you don't already have one to use. So those costs can add up. So you need to look at the details and actually see what's in the box with that, because you'll order it, it'll come in, you open it up, and you just have an OTA, just the refractor tube, and you have no diagonal or rail or anything along those lines. So this particular refractor comes with the Dovetail Bar, and it comes with the rings, so you have that. It also has a little thing you screw with a kind of a rubber pad on there on one of the top of the mounting rings for, like, if you wanted to put a camera on there. So it takes that little, has a little bolt coming up, but I took that off. And the other reason I took it off, there was another guy on YouTube, you may have seen his video, I think he's over in the UK reviewing this same scope, and he had a bunch of scratches right up here because this bolt that screws in from the bottom up had come loose, and when he was moving his scope in the rings, the head of the screw was scratching the top of the OTA. So that was the first thing I did, was pull that out because I don't need it and I don't need any scratches. So it comes with a rail, it comes with a ring, it comes with this finder scope, actually a 90-degree finder scope, which is great because the straight throughs can be kind of a you know, difficult if you've got a weird angle when you need to align with that. And of course the finder scope mount is part of this part at the end on the focuser, so it's all kind of one piece here with that. So that makes it nice, and that's some stout metal right there. And it also comes with this particular diagonal, comes as part of the scope, and it actually has this little, you know, this little insert here. So it's actually, you know, it can take 2-inch eyepieces. Then it has the adapter for 1 1/4. That comes with it also. So got the diagonal, you got this, and it comes with, as a bonus, it comes with a case for this particular scope. That was another selling point that I have. So it has, you know, foam, different compartments. It also came with, we have a 5mm eyepiece, SkyWatcher brand, 58-degree field of view. With that, nice thing about it, if we look at it, you can see how big the opening is. So it's not one of those little small, tiny little openings on those lower end ones. So I haven't looked through that yet, but that does come with the scope. It comes in this little compartment. Comes with what's labeled as a camera T adapter, but it looks like it's more just an extension tube for back focus. It's got a little set of keys, and it also comes with a 25mm eyepiece. I'm assuming that this is probably a Plossl, but this has kind of got a weird kind of head on that, or eyepiece cover here. So it's not one of the regular ones. It's kind of tapered in and stuff, and so there's no cap or anything to cover up the eyepiece to get stuff off of it. So kind of a strange design on that. I've pulled this off, and it doesn't flip around or anything. That's the way it goes, so it's kind of strange. But that's got its own little one. Got some plastic caps for the diagonal, another little cap for the diagonal and stuff to fill in the, well, that actually goes in. If you pull the diagonal off, this will go at the end of the focuser. Here's that little screw for the top of the dove ring. So there's your bolt that'll stick up, and you can screw your camera on top of that. But this bolt is between the bottom of the ring and the top of the telescope, and this is the problem that he had, where that was backing off, and then the head of the bolt was scratching the tube, which he was not pleased about, and I totally agree with that. And this is just a cap for something, but it's just a plastic cap, so it's not going to be used. And this is the case for where the scope lays. I did buy from, I think I got this at Orion, just a little batten off mask that'll fit over the dew shield and stuff. So, but yes, a nice case, because everybody's looking for a case. They get a scope, whether it's an SCT or the higher end refractors come with that, but this came with a nice case, which was another plus here. So the dew shield on this particular one is fixed, so it's not removable or slide in and out to make it any shorter with that. There is a glass. What I did notice is that it's missing, you know, any markings like on the focal length or f-stop or the made in China that you usually see on there, which is fine, probably because it's not on there because this is a fixed dew shield, so it's not really visible. But that's what we've got. The other thing with this is that this is a very short, I think this is an 8-inch dovetail mount, but the problem that I have is balancing it. You can kind of see where it's at. I can go back a little bit further on that, but you know, if I have pull this off and put my my Nikon on the end of that with the tubes, we're going to get kind of back heavy here. So there's no way on the short tube to move it far enough on my AVX mount with that. So we're at the end. There's a bolt that's at the bottom. So I do have a 13-inch rail ordered. Hasn't come in yet, but that's something that will need to be, you'll need to replace that if you're going to do any type of astrophotography where you're going to have a lot of weight in the back. You'll never get it balanced. You have too much weight in the back, so you can't slide it forward. But this is it. It looks fantastic. I wish they had a little bit of the green. I know some of their other scopes have a little green on it, but this looks great. This black or dark blue, not sure what the color is, but it's got the SkyWatcher logo, what it is. It's got the nice white. This here is metal, very thick, not flimsy. The OTA tube is stout, and this thing here, the focuser, is some serious, you know, kind of weight to it. Very, very nice. The focuser is okay. I know that some people pull the focusers off and go with, you know, another type, Moonlight or something like that. But this one here is a little, you know, rack. I think this is okay, this may be a Crayford, I believe. You can double check on their website, but it's got the 10-to-1 on there, very smooth with that. Like I said, here is the finder scope. So it's fixed on that side of it. Here is the other side here. So we got the regular thumb screws for your dovetail rail or dovetail rings over that. Got just on this side, you just have the fast. You don't have the slow. The fine tune is only on the one side. Adjustments for the finder scope, and so that's what it looks like. Now I did take this out the other day. I think earlier this week. Today is January 1st, 2021. We got 2020 in rearview mirror, but it's Friday. And Monday finally had some nice clear night. So I took this out, did a quick rough polar aligned, and then just did a solar system align on the AVX mount against the moon because the moon was up. And the moon looked fantastic. I mean to tell you, very sharp optics. The moon features, the craters, the shades of the mare look better than my SCT, and the SCT looks pretty good. The SCT is, you know, a focal length of 1500. It's a 6-inch, so it's an f10. This here is an 80. Focal length on this one is 600 millimeters, so it's like an f7. So I wanted to get the longer focal length on the 80 instead of the shorter ones. You'll see shorter 80s for, you know, that are in the 400 millimeter to 500. So a little bit more wide field. I wanted to still do wide field, but have a little bit of magnification for some of those smaller targets with that. So I can always get the focal reducer, you know, and go more wide field with that. And so that's why I planned. That's why I pulled this one, pulled the trigger on this one and purchased this one here. But the moon looked great, as bright as the moon was, because it was almost a full moon. I saw no chromatic aberration around the moon. So I saw no blues or purples around it, no false colors. It looked nice. It looked sharp. I actually had to put my, and I also put my moon filter on the eyepiece because it was pretty bright. Still looked fantastic and stuff. So I'm very pleased with this scope. Looking forward to using it a lot this year, mostly astrophotography, but I still do visual. I love doing visual, and so use it for that. And looking forward to getting to a couple of star parties this year. So in the signed up for the Texas Star Party in early May of this year. So we'll see if I get drawn on that, and probably another one in the fall. So decide on that. But yeah, this is a good, you know, refractor if you're looking to kind of go on the budget end, but still get a good quality and not one of those, you know, true doublets where you will have chromatic aberration. You can get a doublet, but look for ED, look at the specs, see if they have listed that they're using, you know, FPL 53 glass in that. So there's a number of other, you know, YouTube kind of reviews on these type of scopes, on these doublets. And so for the most part, they're pretty good. SkyWatcher is a good brand. Like I said, I've already got the Dob, and I really enjoy that. Using that telescope gives fantastic views. And but yes, so thumbs up so far on this. You know, I got my my AVX mount, which I had purchased maybe about 3 months ago. From another member of our club was selling it. He went up to the GCX mount, the Celestron. So he had this. I was able to purchase this mount, and I purchased it because it was available, and because I was once again contemplating on the mount from the SE mount, which is just Alt-Az, to my first equatorial mount. So I was really getting ready to pull the trigger on the SkyWatcher you know, the EQ6R Pro with that, but this one came up. It was available. It was a short drive. You know, it was only, I think I got it for, you know, it was going to be less than half of what a new EQ6R Pro was. So that's what I did. So very pleased with this mount. It works great. I can use astrophotography tool on it. You can use the CWPI, I think is what it's called, from Celestron, you know, through the handset. I'm using Nina, started looking at that, or Nina, with that, and all that works great on this. So, you know, there we go. So I recommend it, but, you know, do your homework, do your price checks, look at the details of the scope. You actually see what's in the box. Number one, what do you actually get with the scope? Number two, the glass, if you're looking at a doublet, right? With that, of course, if you're using if you're looking at triplets, you don't have to worry about the glass, right? Because those are going to be all correct and great. But that was a little bit more money than what I wanted to spend on some of the triplets, unless you get a very short triplet, like the SkyWatcher Explorer Scientific has the 80 triplet, but it's a very short focal length of about 400, 420, something like that. So very wide field. That was just too wide field for me, but it may be fine for you. and so that you can go with a triplet if you can afford it there. So, but there you go. The SkyWatcher EvoStar 80ED, got it over at OPT, and ordered it, and shipped much quicker than I thought. So very, very pleased with them. And so there you go. Clear skies, hopefully.